What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So back in the E46 today, and we're going to do our wish haul video. And I say wish haul because it's going to be Wish, it's going to be eBay, and it's going to be Amazon. Anything that I've been able to find for the E46 that is cheap, under like 50 bucks an item, quick installs, things like that. So we've got a bunch of stuff to do today. We've got the black and white carbon look badges for the boot, the bonnet, all four wheels, and your steering wheel. We have a new auto shifter that's a carbon look. We have a new handbrake handle, which is also carbon look. We've got a new boot for the shifter. We've got a new boot for the handbrake. We've got the cup holder replacement for the center console because I don't have that in my model. So without further ado, let's jump on in and get a couple of these things done. So first thing we want to do is get this out. I was actually quite fortunate. Mine was super easy to pop out. But you've got 3 tabs on one side and 3 on the other. I just gave it a quick squeeze and it popped out. So that's, get that out of there. And then you want to pop this new one in there. And you've got lining up 2 little pins at the back that are going to go with this one. Line up with that, and then boom, straight into place. And that's it. That is probably the easiest install I've ever done. There we go, last little clip in there. So that, yeah, that's all nicely clipped in, and now we've actually got some cup holders, and that was disgusting, so I'm super happy with that. So now let's jump into swapping over the shifter. Okay guys, so what we're going to do first is we're going to need to get the shifter off. Then we're going to have to pop this panel out to get this out to be able to access the boot and swap that over. So first we're going to have to pull it into neutral. So foot on brake, car into accessories, pull it back into neutral. Then you're going to press the button in, and then it's just a straight pull up. Now I actually did this previously and forgot to press record. So super easy for me, but that's how it happens there. Then we're going to get in the sides of here and pop this up. There are 2 electrical plugs up here and 1 down here. Now, yes, I'm using a screwdriver because I forgot my tools today, but use your trim removal tools, guys, because you don't want to damage anything. If I damage something, well, I will deal with that in the future. So as you can see, you've got 2 plugs at the front, 1 there. Undo those, and then you can pull this whole section out. Now, what you want to do from here is there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pins. You just want to pop them in, and then you'll be able to remove the actual boot. So let's just quickly do that. Just so you can see, you just pull them in slightly and push it outward. So be careful, you don't want to snap them. So obviously they're old plastic. And then it's out. Now from there, we're just going to peel all of this gross old leather out and replace it with the nice new leather. So we pop the new leather on. It's got a little elastic band essentially around. Now this is for the manual, and I wanted to test it and see if it would fit in the auto, and it looks like it's going to fit perfectly. So I've got the little like M stitching at the back here. I'm going to make sure that's centralized, and then pop it back into the actual housing, which will clamp it all nice and tight. Okay, and there you have it. So that does go in. It does take a bit of fiddling and finagling and, you know, pushing the bits in with your trim tool and everything, but it does go in. So let's just plug that back in, pop it back in. So we just get a new shifter, line it in place, and then pop it down. So there we go, that's all done. Got the old nice carbon fiber and this new boot in here, which looks great. Now I would suggest to you guys, when you install this, pull the slack down a bit more, just because there's a bit of excess. I will probably go through and do that later on, but that's not for this video. This was to show you how to do it nice and quickly. So let's jump onto the handbrake. Okay, now for the handbrake, we've got a clip down the bottom and a clip up the top. So we'll just get in there, just get that clip out. Top one is the easiest. Slide this disgusting leather boot off. There's a cable tie around here we need to get to. Oh, that is crusty. cut that cable tie off. And that's one leather boot off. So this has another little frame. So you want to peel this one off, which is going to be gross, and peel the new, essentially, yeah, peel the new one onto it and clip it back in. But first we need to get rid of this handbrake handle, and that's going to be replaced with this one. Now, so this is just kind of glued on. So what you need to do is get your hand on it and just give it a wriggle and play around, because there's glue underneath. And ew, she's off. So we just slide it back on. So you put the handle in backwards, you cable tie it back on. I've actually had to modify mine a little bit because the handle's a little bit bigger, but we can make that work. I'll have to just do a little bit of stitching later on. It's eBay, what do you expect? If I had run it with this, it would have been perfect, but because I ran it with a different handle, it's a little bit off. So we'll just slide that back, clip that this way in. Perfect, absolutely spot on. When that's down, that's nice. Now you can see that little bit of stitch there, so I'm just gonna have to come through later on, stitch that little bit up, but that was my fault because yeah, I pulled a bit apart just to get it to work a bit easier. Don't do that guys, and it'll be a bit nicer. But yeah, that's way nicer. As for the badges, super easy. So this one I just stuck it on top of the original badge, and it sits really nicely. Your wheels, they come with the actual housing that goes in. Obviously you stick that on, pop it in the middle, perfect. Your rear badge, you just get your trim removal tool down here, up here, pop it out, and it comes with the housing as well. The nice little chrome housing comes with that. And the same for the one on your bonnet, just a little trim removal tool. You can pop it out, pop the new one in, and then the new one comes with the housing that you need. So it's like the sticker just goes in the housing and then that goes in there. Looks really nice. Okay, now a big important piece that's going to really transform this interior is going to be this steering wheel cover. Now, we do need to remove the steering wheel for that, and we will do that in a moment, but for me to show you how to do this, it's a lot easier with the steering wheel here. So what you're going to want to do is put the steering wheel in the middle of the wrap and stretch it over the wheel. It's going to be very tight, obviously, because you want it to be. So you want to get this. You're going to do this once the steering wheel's off. I'm just showing you here because it's easy. You get it on, you line it up with everything, you know, with the cutout pieces. You line it all up, make sure it is set up so that when you sew this seam together, it's going to be obviously in the middle of the inside of the steering wheel all the way around. Once you've got that and you're happy with that, there's double-sided tape here. What you are going to do is go through and you're going to stick it around the edges all the way around here and on the back side. So if you can imagine, this is the actual wrap, your steering wheel sits here, you're going to put a piece of double-sided tape here and here, little segments all the way around the steering wheel, peel off the stickiness and then actually stick it down, and that will hold it into position. And then you're going to start with one piece and stitch it all the way through. So that is once you've got the steering wheel off, once you've got the airbag out, once you've got these trims off, because you need all the trims off for this to work perfectly. You don't want to try and do it like this, because if you can see down here, this little piece is going to have to tuck in under there and it's not going to work. And obviously under the back piece, they give you a trim tucking tool, but if you've got your trims off, you're going to be able to tuck this in a lot easier and then just pop that over the top and it will look great. If you try and just squish it in there, you're not going to, because you're going to have all of this to try and tuck in. So let's get that off, as we'll be doing that later. What we need to do is disconnect the battery and then come back here with two flat blades. There are two holes there you're going to push in, and there's these two pins that will slide in with the flat blade, and that's how you get your airbag out. pop the plugs off the back. That's done. 16mm nut here, undo that. As far as I'm aware, there's 2 plugs and then a ground wire. You need to remove that, those 2 plugs, and then the whole wheel should come out. Then we'll take the wheel inside and remove these plastics, and at that point, then we can put that leather on the double-sided tape, stick that on, and then start actually stitching it all on, which takes forever. But let's go disconnect the battery and get this wheel off. So there we go, push that bit forward. Then we go the other side, do the same thing. You can feel when you're on it because you can feel the pressure of the pin as you actually pull forward. And that's it there. I'll bring you guys over here and show you these pins that I pushed on. Okay, so what we're actually pushing on is this here. Pushing that in and pushing that in, there and there. And that was releasing the backside of the steering wheel. So now we're gonna come through, we're gonna pull these 2 plugs out, 1 and 2, and then 16mm on there, undo it all, pull the whole steering wheel out. And then once that's out, then we can start looking at undoing screws like this bad boy and this bad boy to get the rest of the trims off. And then we can put this leather cover on. All right, so that is off. Like I said, 16mm, undo that, and it actually slid off super, super nicely. I'm used to wheels having to like reef on one side, then the other, then this one, then the other, then this one, and like, you know, walk it off. This one just straight out. So, and we have this. So to start with, we're gonna take out that, I would say it's like a T20 Torx bit, and that one there, which will give us access to taking this piece off here. And also we're gonna take out those 2 in there along with them. Okay, so once we have undone those 2 in the back and those 2 inside, you can see that it does actually free it up. And you've just got to gently, all the way around, kind of walk it off. Just don't go snapping it, be careful. I would say this one is gonna have to come off. And there's obviously no buttons down the bottom, so just be careful. As you can see, it comes up quite a bit, but it all comes off in one piece. So just, yeah, walk it all up and undo the plugs that are required, and I'll show you what they are in a second. And there you have it, it just pops up, and we just unplug that one, and then our trim piece is off, and you've got all the wheel exposed as you need. So there it is, boys. Now, this one was a little bit looser than the one on the Supra. Pros and cons of that is I only had to do 3 tightening passes on each section, but the con is it's a little looser up here, but that will tighten up over time. The Supra has got a little bit tighter over time, but it feels great. It feels nice and new. The steering wheel is a bit thicker. Yeah, it's great. It fits really well. The only thing I don't like is back there, you can see that little tab. I'm gonna cut that down and tuck it a bit better. But apart from that, it's a really, really good product. Now, you can go the PU leather or this, which is the actual leather. I think it's an extra $20 for the actual leather. So I would recommend going that, honestly. With the amount of effort and work that you're gonna go through to get this in and installed, go the genuine.
I don't wanna hear about guns, I know you ain't had like the post was sponsored. You ain't never been down junction, you ain't never hit no truncheons, you ain't never hit no blocks in your mouth rub, you ain't never peeled no onions. You don't really look so G to me. Fly Wi-Fi for the scenery, go Blue Jays for the eatery. Then I come. Okay, so now it's been a couple of months since I've put these parts on. I wanted to give them a bit of a test of time, make sure the ones that I did think were good, and the ones that I thought were rubbish were rubbish. So let's go do a little quick review of the things that we did, and then I'll tell you yay or nay.
All right, so let's start on the inside. We've got the leather boots on the shifter and the handbrake. They're okay. They look nicer than factory, and especially since my factory ones were pretty haggard. But I don't know, I'd probably give these like a 6 out of 10. Good, better than factory if they're ruined, but maybe get a different supplier. The shifter feels cheap, does the job, looks okay, but yeah, feels cheap. Probably wouldn't go with that. Same with the handbrake handle, feels cheap, looks cheap. Maybe go a slightly more expensive option, but yeah, that not super impressed with that part. Coming over to the steering wheel, very, very happy with the steering wheel wrap. What I do need to go and do is wet the steering wheel wrap and then heat it, because apparently that shrinks leather. Just a couple of little spots like up here and so on. are a smidge loose, you could say. So once I do that, it's going to be perfect. So really happy with that. That's a really quick, easy and cheap way of making your steering wheel look a lot better. While we're on the steering wheel, we've got the badge kit that I got. So this was a super cheap badge kit. It's like carbon looking. I just stuck that on top. You also get the ones for the wheels and obviously the one for the bonnet and the one for the boot. 100% would do this, guarantee you're gonna enjoy it. It's cheap, it's easy, and it's definitely worth the money. They're great. They're holding up to the weather, they're looking great, and yeah, they come with the little like chrome housings and everything. Do it, that's definitely worth buying. I think they were like 20 bucks. Then we're coming over to the side markers, the indicators. 100% worth it. They were like, I think they were $20 shipped. Look great, you know, easy to install, amazing. I would 100% get this, 100%. Now, I was meant to be getting I guess you call it a sticker kit for the dash. That never came through. They've given me a refund on that, so I don't know. I wouldn't get that. No, look, I think it'd be good if it came in. It would look nice. It would update a little bit. I'll probably go and try and buy another one, but yeah, that one didn't come in, so don't worry about that. On kind of like previous videos that I've done, giving a quick review on them, the eBay head unit, oh my God, go and buy one. It's awesome, it's so great. Cannot complain with it, super worth the money. The LED conversion that we did in here, definitely worth it, but like you guys probably remember, some of the lights that I had weren't correct, so worth it if you get the right kit. The one I put in the description on that video would be worth it, but the one I got wasn't, so it was a couple of extra dollars. But yeah, that's kind of my review on the things that we got. We do have a few more things coming in. I'll chuck them into next videos. So we've got some carbon look backs for this, which is going to be nice. We have the gloss black grills coming in, and with the carbon look fog light covers. Now, it's carbon look, it's not carbon, so it's a bit cheap. They are just plastic. You can get the gloss black ones as well. And to be honest, I'm probably gonna paint these gloss black. When I get the bumper painted, I'll probably go through and paint that gloss black. And I'm up in the air about these, whether I'll leave the carbon look ones or if I'll just leave these and paint them the color of the car. I don't know. I don't like fake carbon in the Supra. It's all real carbon. It's like, even my overlay is real carbon sheets that has been turned into an overlay. So yeah, look, I don't know. The badges aren't real carbon, obviously, but I do recommend them because it's just a badge. So, and they're super easy to steal. So if someone steals real carbon, you're gonna be pretty annoyed. So yeah, guys, that's the kind of Wish eBay haul. Everything that I've done, I'll put a link in the description for if you do want to get something like that. The handbrake handle, look, it's good, it sits well and everything, but the fact that it's not circular, it's like at the back, it's kind of square and it kind of goes like that and then down. So it's quite hard to get the boot over. That's the issue with it. If you want to just get like a cylindrical style one, go with that and it'd be good. It doesn't feel as cheap as the handle, as the shift knob. It feels better because it's more secure, and maybe the shift knob isn't actually seated completely. I'm pretty sure it is because I can't get any further, and I don't want to like, the best description for it is I don't want to give it a good hit down because I have a feeling I might break it if I do that. That's how kind of cheap it feels. But to be honest, I'm probably going to do a manual swap in this, so that didn't really bother me. It was like a $20 purchase, and it gives you guys a bit of insight of should I buy that? You might have it in your, your watch list. You're tossing up yes or no. Probably don't. Probably go something a bit more legit. I'm sure like Mars have something that's a bit nicer, but then it's probably like a couple $100. So I don't know. It's up to you. It's your car. But this is just a quick review on the little cheap things you can get. What I reckon you should and what I reckon you shouldn't actually waste your money on or spend your money on. Some were 100% worth it. Your bang for buck is crazy good. Some, I don't hate them. I'll leave them in there, but that kind of feel, All right, sweet. All right, guys, well, I hope this has brought a little bit of entertainment to you. I hope it saved you a bit of money. I'm gonna have and bought some stuff that I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. Or at least you've got like a bit of a rating on the quality of it. All the ones that I said get, 100%, 10 out of 10. The ones I said don't get, yeah, you're probably looking at about like 6, 7 out of 10. They're not rubbish, but they're not the best quality you're gonna get. So guys, please like, please subscribe, comment down below. Tell me if you've got any, if you went and bought any, if you've bought any in the past, or if you've got and bought like shift knobs that are good quality. They feel like, you know, they got a bit of weight to them and they feel good price, things like that. Let me know in the comments because I would be very interested to know, especially like handbrake handles, I'm gonna need that. Yeah, let me know what you've got in the past and things that you've really enjoyed that have been like maybe a cheap install, but super worth the money, like that head unit. 200 bucks, so worth the money. I think they're like 300 now because I got it on sale, but I'm going on a divert. Either way, hope you enjoyed it guys, and I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.